This is a HeadGum podcast.
Monday, March 28th.
All right.
An all-new episode of If I Were You.
It's a podcast.
It's finally an all-new episode.
Yeah.
And because it's an all-new episode, it only feels right to have an all-new sponsor.
Ooh.
That's right. ScoreBig.com.
Don't mind if I do.
Let me ask you a question, Jake. What's the next big event that you want to go to? A concert, perhaps, a sporting event.
The next big event that I want to go to?
Yeah, this isn't the important part of the read. It could be
event?
anything.
Like my son's first steps.
No.
Like to be there.
Obviously not a life event. I'm talking about maybe there's a concert.
My unborn kid is
like a Beyonce concert or a Springsteen concert. Maybe a Clipper game. Can you just say Clipper game or a Laker game?
I'm down
Any
with
sporting
Beyonce
event?
concert.
What?
I want the Beyonce concert.
Okay, great. Yeah. So whenever you're trying to go to these events, you often end up paying too much for tickets. But 40% of all live ticket events go unsold. So ScoreBig works directly with your favorite teams and artists to get their unsold seats at unpublished prices.
Whoa.
Stop buying your tickets at centralized places that force you to pay fees and above market price. At ScoreBig.com, you can name a ticket price and be guaranteed to pay below box office up to 60% off.
Wow. Dope. Yeah.
ScoreBig.com. You go there, you make an offer using their name, price, ticket feature, and then get an instant answer and save up to 60% on your tickets.
And what can we offer our listeners for being fans of our show?
Beyond just the knowledge that ScoreBig.com exists for them.
Trust me, that was a pretty solid get for us.
Yeah.
We did everybody a major favor by informing them.
Fine. If you go to ScoreBig.com, click on the microphone and enter the promo code If I Were You. That's all one word, If I Were You. You'll save an extra $20 off your first ticket purchase.
That's what's up.
So already low prices. Put in the coupon code If I Were You in the promo code section by clicking on the microphone, and that'll give you $20 off your first ticket purchase. That's ScoreBig.com, promo code If I Were You. So this was a fun episode. Nathan and Caldwell, new podcasters on HeadGum, were in the house.
That's correct.
We got to chat with them about life, love. I don't know if it came up during the show, so we should probably mention right now, we're still coming to the East Coast very soon, next week by the time you listen to this.
That's true.
So if you're debating and you're living in or near D.C., Brooklyn, Boston, or New Haven, come on by.
Yeah, well, Brooklyn sold out, so you can't come to that one. But if you live in Brooklyn, you could easily get to the New Haven show.
That's right.
Been saying it for a minute now, but it's true.
Come on by. Tickets still available. All that information is at ifiwereyoushow.com. And thank you again to everybody that's pre-ordered Lonely and Horny, our new web series. That one's coming out soon, too.
Yeah, same
April
time
8th.
that we're on tour, pretty much.
Yeah, that weekend is going to be a big week. April 8th. And if you use coupon code HORNY, you can get 50% off that pre-order. So thanks to everybody that's pre-ordered and spread the word. We really, really appreciate it. Now, let's get this party started right. Dun, 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 dun.
Let's start the episode.
Okay.
If I were you, I'd ask Jake and Amir what I should do to get their point of view on what I'm going through. Whether you need to seize the cheese or just want to feel #dope. If I were you, the show starts now.
Hey now.
That was a little hipster happy tune.
Yeah, it was like a Scrubs song.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like how Scrubs
I can't
ends.
do this all
on my own. Yeah. He really is no Superman. We have two guests in the studio.
Yes, sir.
Holy shit.
Nathan and Caldwell and Nathan.
That's right.
Hello.
Hey.
The Draw Boys.
That's right. The legendary Draw Boys.
Do you call you the Draw Boys?
They can.
Yeah, I've seen people call us that.
Draw. What is that even a pun of? You're just saying
nothing.
that. Oh,
It's
they
just like
draw
kinda-
boys.
It's just like a thing that
So
they
we're
do
like the talk
and their
boys.
genders. Yeah.
The Laugh Boys.
Yeah.
I like
Smile
boys.
boys.
Sweaty boys. You know, like there's lots of different something boys.
I want to be the soup boy.
Me and you are the Candy Boys.
Candy boys.
Yes.
Because we like that song.
Candy
Boys.
Yeah.
Candy Boys.
We should be the song boys then.
No. I think the girls who came up with that song are the song boys.
Okay.
Do you think you could?
I'm the Game Boy.
What should I be? What's my defining thing?
I think Soup Boy.
I like
I like
soup.
that.
Yeah.
You got because like your Campbell's Soup Boy and your Nintendo's Game Boy.
Hey, I am no sponsor.
Yeah, and
No,
I
I
don't
like
really
it.
like
I'm the Game Boy
Campbell's.
brought to you by MeUndies.
MeUndies Game Boy.
Do you guys like soup?
Love soup.
Really?
Yeah.
Can't get enough of the stuff.
What's your least favorite soup?
Oh, damn. I will say, I have a story about soup that relates to this.
I'm not interested in that.
All right,
He asked a very simple question, Caldwell.
Chili.
You're right. This is a quick 10 minutes and out.
Yeah.
We don't got time for a soup story.
I'm glad you asked about soup. I've got something to say.
Menudo is my least favorite type of soup.
That's not. That's a band.
It's also a soup.
What?
It was a
Menudo?
soup first, dude.
Menudo?
Are you one of these fake soup boys?
No, I swear.
Name 3 types of soup.
Easy. Corn chowder.
All right.
Chowder, Backstreet Boys.
Horse.
Dill. Dill spacho.
Just as I thought. Another fake soup boy.
and corn.
I better not
chicken.
see you on the soup forum. If I see you on the fucking Campbell's forum, that fucking fake soup boy nonsense.
You know I'm all up in that subreddit.
Soup Reddit.
Yeah.
Super.
Bravo.
Thank
man.
you.
Wait, what's soup Reddit a pun of?
Subreddit.
It's not. It's like Draw Boys. It's not a pun.
That's pretty good.
That one I did miss for sure. Do we care about what your least favorite soup is, or should we move on? I feel like there's going to be someone out there being like, they never answered. You
Yeah.
did answer. You said menudo. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
I'm just not a fan of tomatoes in general,
Yeah.
so a tomato soup would be a non-starter.
What about a bisque?
It tastes like hot ketchup to me.
Yeah,
What about a bisque, though?
I mean, if it's well hidden, if the tomato element is like,
What if it's subtle on the nose?
yeah, if it's subtle on the nose,
Yeah.
I love this hard-hitting journalism.
Sorry.
Hard-hitting
Jake
soup
made
drive.
sense.
For the tomato lobby.
Mr. President, what about a bisque?
They grilled me.
Tomato soup is the only fruit soup. Hi, this is If I Were You. The only advice podcast on the internet hosted by me. I'm Amir.
I'm Jake, and I'm also the host. And thank you.
And we have 2 guests in the studio. One of them, H. Caldwell Tanner.
Correct.
Nathan Yaffe or Jaffe?
Yaffe.
But you got it.
Yeah, like how it's spelled.
Yeah, with a Y.
Let's go with Jaffe, then.
Laffy Yaffy.
Laffy
People ever call you Laffy Yaffy?
I've gotten no Yaffe, no Laffy.
That's good.
Okay.
Yaffy Taffy.
Caldwell,
Taffy boy.
Caldwell and Nathan are illustrators extraordinaires, very talented
Thank you.
artists. You guys both work for College Humor. True or false?
True.
You guys both have a podcast on the Headgum Network. True or
True.
false?
True.
Yeah.
Jake and I were on episode 3 of that podcast.
It's true. It's a nascent podcast, but you guys have helped us grow, helped us kind of reach our full potential. So we thank you for that.
Well, it's very unique. It's an awesome show. We love having you guys because no other podcast, I think, ever creates an original piece of artwork at the end of every episode.
I don't think so.
It's hard to come up with an original idea for a podcast.
Yeah.
It really is.
Let alone
true.
original art in every episode to create.
It's true. We thought, we want to make a podcast, but that seems easy. That seems like not enough work.
So you have guests on that, and you talk about what you should draw, and
Exactly.
then at the end, you end up drawing it.
Yeah, it's a goal oriented podcast.
Yeah. We
Much
have,
like- yeah.
we have an objective.
And which I think helps us because otherwise it would just be nonsense. It would just be 40 minutes of soup talk.
It's pretty close to nonsense as
And
is.
now it's only 30 minutes of soup.
We cut
And
it
then you
off.
draw soup at the end.
We have yet to draw soup.
Oh my god!
Let's get that in
get
there.
on
I don't
that,
want.
yeah.
I don't want to give our episode of what should we draw away, but I think I ended up with what should be a prize-winning New Yorker cartoon.
Oh yeah, it's gonna win all of the toonies.
I love the toonies.
Bill Watterson is furious. You robbed him yet again.
God, that hack. Nobody dislikes Calvin and Hobbes. The end
Except
result
for
of
Susie,
Thank
Calvin's
you, Susie
lovable
Durkins.
neighbor.
oh yeah,
She must get so annoyed with Calvin and his snowballs. And
Now, actually, Jake, there's a lot of subtext there. She's actually got kind of a crush on Calvin. You might need to do a
Fine,
closer
Calvin's
read.
father really dislikes him then.
Yeah, that's true. Calvin's dad fucking hates him.
that's another subtext.
What about Biff the bully?
Oh, they're in love.
Interesting. Okay.
Everyone is
Biff the bully is actually a figment of Calvin's imagination.
Oh, everyone in Calvin and Hobbes is a figment of Calvin's imagination.
Dude.
Yeah.
I've got this crazy fucking theory.
It's actually
the Calvin you
all-
see pissing on like the Boston Red Sox. That's the real Calvin, and he's in an insane asylum,
Just pissing.
thinking about his childhood.
Thinking about, like, the ideal life he could have had if he didn't get arrested for peeing on shit.
Does it ever say where Calvin lives?
No, I don't think so. I think it's...
Some vague East Coast town. I
Got
wonder
it.
where Watterson's from.
I think it's
He's from
definitely
Hawaii. Wouldn't that be the most surprising thing?
My guess is that it's like the Berkshires,
Really?
So northeastern somewhere, definitely.
Western Massachusetts is my theory.
One of those places where you can just kind of become a hermit, like with no real problem. Like you have kind of like an old, painted White House with kind of like chipping away paint.
Yeah.
And no one really knows what your deal is. Kind of like just kind of a standard kind of like kooky hermit type sitch.
Kooky hermit,
Yeah.
of course.
I don't know. I was more of a baby blues kind of guy. So I never really got into that Calvin shit. The spaceman spliff shit.
Spaceman spliff.
No, thank you.
That's a dope rap.
Oh, that is pretty good.
What's the actual name of it?
Spaceman Spiff.
Oh, yeah. Spaceman spliff.
Oh wait, is the bully's name Biff?
No, you're thinking of...
Back to the Future.
What's the bully's name in Calvin and Hobbes?
It might be. I don't think it's Biff. It's something close to Biff. Maybe like Griff, maybe or something like
It's
that.
spliff.
It's Spaceman Griff.
Yeah, because the bully, the 6-year-old bully, is always trying to pressure Calvin into smoking weed. That's where Hobbes comes from, yo. What up? It's just because Calvin's high all the time. Look at my YouTube videos.
It's called Calvin's High all the time.
Fan theories.
So in your podcast, you guys create art. In Jake and I's podcast, we don't create anything, but we advise people out of their difficult
Creative
places, which is-
solutions.
Yeah,
which
there's an
is
art to
almost
that.
more important than like a painting. Because
I
we're
should-
actually helping a real person.
I should mention that we record all of our podcasts from a soup kitchen.
Oh, shit. I would love that.
We really disrupt the workflow.
My favorite kind of kitchen. Every
Only
kitchen is
kind
a
I
soup
know.
kitchen.
Oh boy, dill
So,
soup.
just hot water and a slice of dill. That's right, a slice. So these are real emails from real people. We're going to give them fake names just to preserve their anonymity.
Sure.
Caldwell, why don't we start with you? This is a guy, a 17 going on 18-year-old guy's name.
Okay. Do we usually have a theme on these?
Yeah, but they could be anything you want.
How
You get to
about
dictate the theme right now.
How about fake names from our YouTube show, Drawfee?
youtube.com/Drawfee? Yes.
We come up with all sorts of kooky characters that have fun names.
Okay.
All right. So you want to do? Let's say this one is Porfo.
Porfo.
Oh, that is a good name.
Is that a recurring character?
That is.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Porfo writes.
Fan favorite.
I'm 17 going on 18 and in my final year of high school. Every morning I wake up, make breakfast, turn on the TV, and there's this kids show, Game Shakers, which I watched ironically to insult it, but recently I found myself liking it. My family come in and out of the living room and say some shit about how it's a kids show, and I just nervously agree with them. I want to continue watching the show without seeming like I enjoy it. I could watch Family Guy or The Simpsons in the morning, but I'm weirdly into this show. How do I proceed watching it every morning without seeming like I enjoy it? Also, I can't say I'm waiting for the next show because I turn off the TV after the episode is done and I continue to get ready. Thanks, guys.
Hot
Preferable fake name would be Isaac.
Sorry, Porfo.
Unfortunately, that's not part of the game.
Tough luck, Porfo.
Do you guys know what this show is, Game Shakers?
do.
Both nodded. When
You do know
said
it?
it?
Well, I on my way to work, I drive past a giant billboard for it every day.
So
What's it called?
Game
Shakers?
Shakers.
Game Shakers.
So I have two nieces, and I'm sort of tangentially aware of the world of
Right.
Nickelodeon shows. Kids consume TV shows like none other. Like they'll stare at a TV for
Yeah.
like 6 hours straight watching, and it's like always a new show every like 3 months. Like, oh, that show's over. Wizards of Waverly.
Well-
I don't watch it anymore. Now it's Game Shakers, and I've actually seen them watch Game Shakers, and it's a show about. It's pretty ingenious. It's a show about a company that makes iPhone games, and then you can actually download the game. So
That's
like the
real
kids
smart.
are consuming it
Yeah.
while they're watching the show, and it stars a bunch of kids and Kel from Keenan and Kel is
Yes.
their boss.
Kel's back.
Yeah.
Yo, that's dope. Welcome back, Kel.
Back, Kel.
We all
Yeah.
thought Keenan was the man.
Here's the thing. Porfo is on, like, the cutting edge with this shit. Like, number one, he's up on Kel's resurgence. Number two, this is like a fully integrated show. You're on the ground floor of the tech renaissance right here. You got nothing to be ashamed about, I think.
17 going on 18, you're at prime age to be the next Zuckerberg.
That's true.
You know, he's doing market research.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
so
you're
you're
like
saying
a
this is-
sponge.
So this show you're saying is actually good to listen to.
I'm with you guys in that, like, he's old enough now to own his decisions. Like, he doesn't have to say, like, he doesn't have to worry about people making fun. He's almost 18. It's like, I'm an adult motherfucker. I choose to watch this. Yes,
Yeah.
I like this.
I will
think
say-
you just got to own it. You just got to fess up. You gotta be
Definitely
like,
own it.
Fuck, I like it.
I will say I have, like, I had a shockingly similar experience growing up.
What was your guilty pleasure show?
Oh, man, you guys. It's just like, I'm just going to, like, just take this deep down into, like, the nerd cave, and we're never coming back. You realize that?
That's why we had you on the show.
Cool.
Did we not start off in the nerd cave?
I thought that was the name of the studio.
No, we started off in the
Started off so cool when we were the Soup Boys.
we were in the soup garage, and now we're in the nerd cave. I used to really love when I was in, like, 8th grade. So I guess 14 maybe.
Yeah.
I used to love the show Digimon, which is like, oh no,
Nerd. Amir gave Caldwell a dead arm and his hand broke.
oh my god, it was all a trap.
So what age was Digimon for? Younger kids?
Yeah, it was like it was
Younger than
it tied
8th
in.
grade?
It was like basically like the Tamagotchi tie-in show, but for like they were battling Tamagotchis. Was essentially
So there's a show for 7-year-olds, and you're watching it at 14-year-olds.
absolutely.
And again, it's
Yes. 7 is correct.
Like 7 and 14, it feels like a huge difference, but like you're 28, wouldn't you date a 21-year-old or something?
Yeah.
Without question.
People have.
It's all relative, but you don't think of it as 7 years older. Think of it as twice their age. So
Yeah.
it's like
it's-
your age dating a 60-year-old.
That's so hot. So hot.
A silver fox.
Don't talk about his wife like that.
Or a 15-year-old, even hotter.
Oh, more illegal.
I remember, like, there's nothing more embarrassing than kids watching shows that were meant for somebody
Yeah.
like 4 years, even like 3 years. Like, I went to my cousin's birthday party. I think she was turning 11, and they played a Barney song. And, like, all the kids had to act like they were melting, like, from hearing the song. Like, oh, don't play Barney! I'm like, aren't you you're 9. Barney's for, like, 6-year-olds. But, like, the fact that you're just, like, 3 years older is, like, such an embarrassing thing.
Yeah, but each year when you're that young is incremental.
Yeah.
it's-
it represents half your life.
it's a milestone. Yeah.
Yeah, when the difference between 7 and 8 is like the difference between, I don't know, 30 and 35. Mathematically speaking.
Of course. All those 35-year-olds like, ugh, that's so 30.
Yeah.
Dude, when I hear like Third Eye Blind now, I just melt. Like, oh, come on.
So embarrassing.
Just kidding. I
Play the new stuff.
I jump around. It's
What was your TV watching while you get ready in the morning show
Ooh.
in high school?
I never really had like a specific show because I feel like I didn't have a TV in my room or anything, and like I feel like it would just be like whatever my parents wanted. So I feel like we were rocking out to the Today Show.
Oh,
You know,
like 6
seeing what-
a.m.
Yeah. Seeing what Al Roker's up to.
Yeah.
This image of being able to leisurely get ready with the TV on is so foreign to me. It was a mad dash to like
true.
wake up and just make sure I had like clothing on my body. In
You were
time
like
to,
hey, bus is coming in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Wake up, kid.
Yeah.
I switched to that too. I remember like in middle school when I was like a little more obedient, I was watching Saved by the Bell.
Sure. Yeah.
And then in
Disciplined.
in high school, by the time I was a senior, I was waking up with like 4 minutes to get to school by the time it started.
I wake up on the bus somehow. The trick is falling asleep on the bus.
Here's the thing. I mean, I guess if Porfo's waking up this early, do they? I don't want to speak to their means, but like I don't know if they have like a laptop or like at the very least like a computer lab they could hide out in.
Yeah,
'cause I know that all this.
nowadays you don't even need to watch TV. You can just watch it on your phone. Or
Yeah,
something.
I imagine they've got a phone
Yeah, but you really have to watch in like a big television
Yeah.
to really appreciate it.
Game Shakers is like
Shakers
Gravity. Yeah, you can't just watch it on your phone.
What you got to do is wake up early, go to an IMAX theater.
Game Shakers is like, what's that Terrence Malick movie where it's like you can't watch it on your screen, you have to watch it in movies? It was like with Brad Pitt.
Oh yeah. Fuck me. I know what it was.
Tree of Life?
Tree of Life.
Tree of Life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Game Shakers is kind of like Tree of Life.
I would say so. I mean, it's no Bella and the Bulldogs, but what are you going to do?
Yeah, I think you gotta, you like Jake was saying, you're old enough to own this decision.
Yeah.
I think you gotta lean into it. I think you gotta start buying the merchandise.
Yeah.
Like, start using the catchphrases.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't agree with this.
See, I don't know where, like, the line for these shows is so blurry. Like, watching Degrassi is almost cool, but it's also made for kids. So, like, why is that cool?
When
but
you're
Game
18,
Shaker's
I think
bad?
liking anything is really, really scary. Like, to admit that,
What does
like,
everyone else think?
like, oh, I like this shirt. Unless you don't. I like this band. Oh, does everybody else hate it? Me too.
So cool.
You
I need
go out on
80%.
such an insane limb when you have an opinion about anything.
You got to full on Aaron Burr this shit and just bury those opinions.
Well, yeah, what is your family like? You know, what are they watching that's so much better than Game Shakers?
They're watching the Today Show on loop. They're getting that Roker dose, man.
They're Roker dosing on Roker dose.
They're roped out. They're stoked on the roke.
My embarrassing show.
There's nothing wrong with the Today Show. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
I remember as like a 14 or 15-year-old, I used to watch the Rosie O'Donnell show after work, and that was kind of my equivalent.
After
of,
work?
Sorry.
You put it up.
The factory.
What were you doing? You were 14.
Yeah, I was a blacksmith for 2.5 years, just making
learning
horseshoes.
the family trade.
And then hanging up my hat and going home and seeing Rosie O'Donnell, this overweight lesbian, just throwing koosh balls into the audience. I don't know why it resonated so much with me. I mean, Rosie O'Donnell's a loser, and I'll probably sue her.
I'd like to take some change out of her fat ass pockets.
Just see you there,
You
just
guys
like
remember that Donald Trump really put Rosie O'Donnell on blast?
I do not remember that, but I fully believe it.
Everybody just search Donald Trump Rosie O'Donnell.
It's really funny.
This is what's going to sink his campaign. You just got to resurface that. Now, I'm just picturing you watching this show, just like polishing like several swords.
Yeah, wondering why. What happened to my life? So I guess, don't worry, dude. Everyone has their guilty pleasure.
But yeah,
maybe own it.
Yeah.
Own it, but also hide it.
Yeah.
I would say, like, yeah, you don't, just own it / shrug it off. Like, whatever, the show.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
This little light of mine, I'm going to put it in a cavern.
And let it shine unless people really try to find the light. In which case I might turn it so dim that
get a
people
dimmer
will
switch on
mistake
that.
it for the moon.
Let it shine, inside, indoors, away from everyone else.
Are you guys ready for another question?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. This one is a lady.
Ooh.
Nathan, do you have a lady's name?
Legsy.
No, let's get another one.
Okay.
Okay. How about Regina?
No, Legsy's good.
Not Lexi's
How about
great.
Gunthia?
How about Lexi Gunthia? That's her first
Okay,
first
great.
name. Her last name is Jones. This is more of an interesting exploration of the male psyche than anything else. I hooked up with a guy who lives far away whilst on a visit. We somehow got to talking and became friends as we texted daily for a few months. Obviously, it's quite odd to chat with someone for hours every day that you have no interest in romantically, but if you genuinely like them as a friend and a human, why not? Upon a second visit, I was excited to find out that he had begun a relationship with someone else just that week. One night during my visit, we had to stay in the same bed. Nothing sexual happened, but we found ourselves cuddling and holding hands in the middle of the night, which we shut down and never spoke about. However, later that week, we ended up sleeping together.
What a turn.
We both felt quite badly after. We still chat sporadically as friends, despite both being in relationships with other people. Do you think he was just an opportunist and seized the cheese because he could, despite being able to do so with his super hot girlfriend? Or were his motivations possibly romantic? If the former, am I kidding myself in thinking that we are actually friends and he just wants to keep his options open? Perhaps the best way to answer this is to see how you guys would feel in this situation. And if you were him, under what circumstances would you have slept with me? Thanks, guys. Loved Legsy. And what was her last name?
Gunthia.
Gunthia Jones.
So this is a lady asking for a guy's thought, and I thought, hey, we're 4 guys in a room right now. Maybe we can shed some light.
Just 4 normal guys.
Yeah.
4 dudes, 4 brains, 4 man brains.
We all love game shakers.
Yeah. So would specifically question, do you think he was just an opportunist and seized the cheese because he could, or were his motivations possibly romantic?
It seemed mutual. I think that like the signals were there, and sure it might be slightly immoral because of their prior engagements, but like it didn't seem like anything too like risque was going down. It seems like there was like a good feedback loop, I guess. This feels like the first scene in like a Nora Ephron movie or something. Like these guys are getting. I'm calling it right now. I'm putting down some big money. These guys are getting together.
It's a story about them.
After
the love story is about them.
Yes, exactly.
So you're saying it is romantic. It's more than just a hookup.
Yeah, because like the fact that they're remaining friends, and like that's. I think that a lot of people, maybe dudes especially, don't get this. That like you are supposed to be friends with the person you're in love with. Like that's not. Those aren't two different categories.
right.
Like.
Caldwell's married, everyone.
What was the first thing that she said before they had a date, right?
Mm-hmm. They hooked up. Yeah, she visited. They hooked up, and then
she went back
kept
to her
in touch.
touch. They kept in touch.
She visited again. The guy was with a girlfriend, but they still hooked up.
No.
Okay, so you're not friends with this guy.
Yeah.
They never had a friendship. It was a date. It was a hookup. Then it was a cuddle session. Then they had sex. So where I don't think that you could explain to either of your significant others that it's just a friend of yours.
Yeah.
It's definitely somebody that you're dating and hooking up with while you're with.
Oh no! Don't get me wrong. It's morally despicable, but
yeah.
But at the same time,
but I mean, how many? We're all morally despicable
exactly.
at times.
This is like the driving conflict.
I'm trying not to judge her. I'm just saying what you have isn't a standard issue friendship.
Sure.
Yeah.
Nor is it a one night stand because you guys are continually talking.
It's an affair.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what it is.
Oh, right.
There's a word for it.
Oh, right. They're having an affair.
Do I have a friend?
No.
You're having an
this is
illicit
fine.
affair.
You have what's
It's
it called
fine
when
because
there's
it's
a
just
lady?
a friend I fuck.
A mistress?
Yeah, you have a mistress. Well,
have a
she is,
mister.
and he has a mister.
No. This is different. This is just another fucker.
No. We slept in the same bed and nothing happened except that we cuddled and then fucked later on.
Yeah,
We quickly shut it down and then had sex.
She was so like adamant, like nothing sexual happened. We kind of cuddled, but we shut it out and never talked about it.
This is why
3 hours later we fucked, and then
Never talked about it until we had sex. Then we felt she really buried the lead.
Yeah, it was. I mean, again, this is why it's like it's narratively rich.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Amir, while you were reading that, all I could think about was, have you ever considered doing books on tape?
no, I haven't actually.
Because I listen to this podcast when I'm not here also. And
Why?
When I'm not performing on it,
Yeah.
I sometimes listen to it.
When you're not on it.
you're very good at reading the questions in a narrative tone.
Oh, cool! Thank you.
Smoldering.
I think I'm getting better because, like, at first it's hard. You're just reading it, and then it's like, oh, I should probably be reading it in an interesting way, so as to keep people's attention.
I think that's the progression here is that we steal this wholesale, make it a steamy, complicated romance novel read by Amir. I think most
A Nicholas Sparks novel.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's a cool idea.
Here's the thing: most books are books first. This is going to be a book on tape, then a book. Your voice is going to be the selling point.
So Amir's just going to, like, stream of consciousness write the book.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'll
like-
just treat this as the opening chapter and then start waxing poetic, spinning a yarn, a
Exactly.
story that can weave.
Yeah. Legsy's Lament.
So is it? We have questions like this a lot. We're like, we're just friends, right? And I feel like the guy doesn't necessarily think that.
No, I think that I know that people sometimes have sex with their friends.
Yeah.
But I think it's a little dangerous to be having sex with your friends while you're with somebody else.
Exactly.
Then it turns into really not a friendship. Then, as Nathan mentioned, it's an affair. I think that's really that's the point we really have to drive home.
I'm just picturing
If
this.
you're having sex with somebody, it's an affair.
And it's not fair to the people you're making.
Wow. An affair is not fair.
An affair is not fair, and frankly, it's an affront. That's all I got.
So choose, lady. Choose. You got to have one or the other. You can't have a friend that you bone and also a boy.
Yeah.
It's an affront to go behind someone's back.
Damn!
Oh, he's good.
And you want to confront, but you don't want to attack.
Keep going. Jake sort of sets him up, and you knock it down.
Yeah, but not in a good time. Like you wrap up the question, like, wait, okay, I got it.
Yeah,
you gotta air these grievances.
Now
off.
there's a slam poem to sort of take it home.
I'll give you the break to think about it. Why don't we take a small pause to thank a few more sponsors, and we'll be right back with more Jake and Caldwell.
I guess we're going off air.
It's a 4-day break, and then we'll be back. Thank you as well to Squarespace for sponsoring this episode.
Yeah, you did it. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Squarespace, one of our longest-lasting sponsors. Thankfully, they're awesome. Thankfully, you guys are using them.
It's a beautiful relationship we have with Squarespace.
What is Squarespace? Basically, if you need to build a website for yourself or anyone today or in the future.
Or a portfolio.
Yeah.
If you don't have a website, then who the heck are you?
It's 2016. Get on it, people.
You better have a domain name to point people to.
And whether it's a website for a stupid idea or a portfolio, maybe you just want to buy your name as a domain. Do you have your name yet?
No, I don't sleep on your domain name, folks.
Yeah.
I was somebody bought it out from under me when I forgot to re-register.
They scooped it.
Yeah.
They
And
scooped it on you.
Now it costs $799.
So don't do what Jake did. Buy your name as a domain. Build a portfolio or a store or anything.
Just a splash page, a little landing page for yourself.
And if you
deserve
don't,
it.
if you don't know how to build a website, Squarespace makes it easy. It's professionally designed, regardless of your skill level. It's easy to use tools. Millions of people use it. 24/7 live support. It's just the best way to build a website.
Yeah,
And you get a free domain if you sign up for a year.
that is true.
We know what you're thinking. All the good domain names are taken.
Yeah,
That's actually not true. Because
evidenced by us
every
right now.
every time we promote Squarespace, we give you guys a little an option or two to snatch up. Actually, my last option, Basketball, is still available. I guess people didn't deem it worthy enough.
That's fair. What was mine? Did that one get bought?
I don't know. I forget.
No, whatever.
Luckily, today I'm giving you something even more gold than gold. OMG23.com. Maybe that's like a good Michael Jordan blog.
That is a really good one.
OMG23. It's fun to
cool.
say. It's only 5 characters.
Yeah.
And it's a .com, and it's available.
OMG 23.
.com available. What do you want? What are you offering?
That's actually pretty solid, man.
Oh, thank you.
Speaking of,
Oh.
my domain name,
Huh.
pretty solid, man.
Whoa.
.com.
is available.
And it's pretty solid, man.
So
You got to admit, that's pretty solid.
yeah, it's prettysolidman.com.
Pretty solid was taken.
Yeah.
But I feel like I always say pretty solid, man.
Yeah.
So, and if you are a pretty solid man,
Yeah.
it really works.
Yeah, because you could just, that's like it could be your domain name.
Yeah, if you're
Maybe you
a
should do that instead of
Handsome
jakehurwitz.com.
statue. Pretty solid, man.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
You like it.
I do love it.
All right. So if you go to squarespace.com and use coupon code if I were you get 10% off your first purchase. So check it out. Go to squarespace.com, use the offer code if I were you, and get 10% off your first purchase. Whether you build OMG23, Pretty Solid Man, or something else, the coupon code's going to work for you guys. So
Let us know.
thanks for using it. Thank you for Squarespace for sponsoring this episode. Thank you also to Headspace for sponsoring this episode.
That's right. Meditation, folks. It's a big thing. Get
It's
into
actually
it.
a really big thing.
It's actually a major thing.
Issues like stress, anxiety, depression, sleeplessness, all this stuff starts in your head, and they can wreak havoc on your life, but it doesn't have to be that way. You can make a major difference in just 10 minutes a day. Headspace is basically a meditation app. It's a free meditation app. Let's say you want to meditate and you don't know how. If you go to headspace.com/ifIwereYou, you get the app for free, and you can use their Take 10 program, which is 10 days of guided meditation, and you don't have to pay a gosh darn thing.
Yeah, give it a shot. We know you're curious about meditating. Everybody knows that they should, that it's something that sounds healthy.
Yeah.
Like, who has the time or the know-how? Well, now you have Headspace.
Now you do know how. So again, if you go to headspace.com/ifIwereYou, check it out and train your mind for a healthier, less stress life. That's headspace.com/ifIwereYou. Free guided meditation.
Can't go wrong there.
Let's get back to the episode. Hey, we're back.
All right.
Yeah.
Hi.
What do you guys got going on other than your podcast and your business lives? You know, your various businesses. I know Caldwell's a fisherman.
It's true.
A blacksmith, a fisherman.
I'm a monger. I'm a fishmonger.
Oh, sorry.
How dare you? There's a difference.
Apologize.
Name 3 type of fish.
Corn, bisque.
Horse.
Well, you know, we Nathan's out here. We've been working on some drawfee stuff together,
Tight.
which has been fun. I was in New York before. We've been kind of bouncing back and forth between the coasts. We've been doing that bi-coastal.
How do you like that?
Very nice.
Great. So good.
As long as you don't do anything in between, I feel like you really hit up the highlights of America, bouncing back and forth between New York and LA.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cut out all that middle America crap.
I actually
Those flyover states.
I prefer to puddle jump them. I get myself like one of those planes with pontoon
Prop
legs.
planes.
Yeah, and I
Oh,
just
that's
kinda,
cool. So you visit the Great Lakes, you visit the Hoover Dam.
Yeah.
any body of water really.
Of course.
Grand
Yeah.
Canyon.
Salt Lake City.
It was a pricey investment, but I think it was worth it. Mm-hmm. Most people get a car or lease. I just got the puddle jumper.
That's really cool, dude.
You got to go, man. Jake and I are actually going to D.C., Brooklyn, Boston, and New Haven in just a couple weeks.
Got a tour coming up?
Yeah, we have a tour coming up. So if you guys live in those cities and you want to check us out, go to ifiwereyoushow.com for tickets.
Do you want to take my jumper?
You know what? I think we might fly commercial.
Okay, sure, it's
I'm
available.
gonna hop on a Delta flight. Thank you. I don't trust you to land the plane in lakes across America.
What
and
if I-
deliver me safely to Washington D.C.?
That's fair. I do not have a pilot's license,
Yeah.
but the plane is called the Jake.
I'm in. Fuck it, dude. If I'm going down, I'm going down in the Jake.
It's a lake jumper called the
Jake jumper, thank you.
The Jake lumper.
Oh, a lake jumper called the Jake Lumper.
The Jake lumper.
I'll take that.
That's a cool nickname for me.
Yeah.
Or just like a name change. Hey, man, I'm Jake Lumper.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, is Lumper gonna come through? Lumper in the house.
Bad name.
Lump you, dude.
Got humped by the lump.
Oh.
Anything else new, happening, exciting that you guys want to plug other than your podcast?
Can we just plug the podcast twice?
Yeah, you could say. I don't know if we've ever even said the name yet.
It's What Should We Draw?
And then how do people find it?
You can find it on HeadGum.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. You can search for it in iTunes.
Hell
and
yeah.
you can go to whatshouldwedraw.com to see all of the drawings that we've done for the show, as well as some cool fan art that people have been making.
Sweet.
Dope, dude.
And
Yeah.
if you guys like me and Jake, you can start with our episode. And then Emily was on an episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Emily was on an episode. We had our buddy Jake Young. We had Hallie Cantor.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
All the
some-
old college humor boys and
Yeah.
girls.
Thank you.
We've got Jeff Rubin coming out.
Oh, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was his? His was about, like, video games, I bet. Fucking
nerd, dude.
obsessed.
It actually...
I think we ended up.
Yours was about Play-Doh, right?
Yeah.
We had a whole discussion, and then Amir just comes up with this has nothing to do with what we''ve been talking
I love
about.
it.
Just a pun.
I'm a big fan of those sideswipe episodes where we spend an hour just trying to deconstruct what we're going to draw, and then Amir just presents this beautiful New Yorker tier comic just on a platter.
I once tried to create a Far Side type comic.
Oh,
David
remember
Cho
that.
in
What was it
College
called?
Humor. It was
I
called-
remember that shit. What was
Yeah.
that called?
It was called Cat Basso.
Yeah.
The problem was I didn't have enough ideas, and David Cho, who illustrated it, illustrating is not his strongest suit. So it was basically mediocre attempts at both. But I feel like if you guys teamed up together with someone funnier than me, you guys can maybe start taking the torch of the Far Side now. That
I think. I mean, yeah, that's the plan. Is eventually just to become become a viral comic machine.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Does print comics interest you guys at all?
I would like. It's kind of I think at this point it's just a feather in your cap more
Here's
than
the
anything.
thing: print's a dying media.
Thank you.
It's all about podcasts.
God,
right now.
Far
dude.
Side would be the best Snapchat. Larson was
Oh
born
my
too
God.
early.
It really would.
It
though.
would be.
Actually, it would be the best Instagram.
Yeah, I'd
'cause
follow
it's a
Farside
one-panel.
Insta.
You know what? I started, or I wanted to. I looked up Farsides to put on Instagram just because I think a lot of the people that follow me are younger and probably maybe don't remember Farside.
Right.
And then I read somewhere that Gary Larson specifically asked Farside fans not to put his stuff online.
Oh man.
Huh.
Yeah, he's like so old school. He's like, it doesn't deserve to be on the internet. Like, you have to hold it. It has to be in a gallery.
Oh,
I just
man.
want to be like, just make an Instagram account, dude. People will like discover it so much more readily.
Maybe this can be our new campaign.
Doesn't he want people to read the comics rather than just preserve their
Gotta buy
memory?
books, dude. Gotta buy that Scholastic.
It's got to be a gallery. Yeah, I remember like book fairs. Everyone's like, what books do you want? I'm like, comics, only the comics.
Yeah.
Well, we say
sad.
there's nothing permanent about like digital stuff, but I can't get songs off my phone. Like, so they're baked in there.
I
That
bought
absolutely 9 days story of a girl song plays every single time my phone connects to Bluetooth.
Oh man, yeah.
I can't get rid of it.
I rode across the country with Ben Joseph to
Sorry
come
to
out
hear
here.
that. Was that on
He
purpose?
forced me.
He took me hostage.
he fucking gaslighted me.
Yeah.
It was-
He hunted and gathered you.
He swindled. He I guess the correct term would be he bamboozled me
Yeah.
into driving across the country with him. I woke up in the car, but he had the same issue because I guess it's the number 9.
Yeah.
Like numbers play before alphabetical stuff. So
Was it the
every
same
time,
exact song?
every time we
This
connected,
is the story of a girl.
Oh, really?
And like it starts so loud.
Yeah.
but like you can't hide from it. It's been that song has embarrassed me many a time.
It really, I will say, driving across the country and listening to that song like at least twice a day, it really like it goes around the bend and becomes very funny, and then it goes around the bend again and becomes the worst thing you've ever fucking heard.
That's like the guys who made up that song, how
Yeah.
they feel about it too.
We have time for one more question. It's actually about animation and anime conventions. So I feel like it's
These are
Perfect.
well curated, sir.
yeah. This was actually a coincidence, though I should have searched something along these lines. These questions found me,
You have a
knowing that you'd be here.
You have like just a nerd shit folder.
It's a nerd tag, actually. All right, are you guys ready? We need a guy's
Absolutely.
name. Guy's name.
Oh, a guy's name.
Chris.
Chris.
Oh, I love that.
What?
It's spelled Chris, but it's pronounced Chris.
Yeah. You know.
Right. Big fan of the show and super excited for Lonely and Horny. That's right. We have a new web series out
hell
called
yeah.
Lonely and Horny. You guys can watch the trailer and pre-order it right now at vimeo.com/lonely and horny.
Chris, right? All that.
He did.
The title alone describes me, and I had a kind of an urgent question regarding both my current state and an upcoming convention. In 2 weeks, I'm headed to Anime Boston with my brother and our best friend. There are going to be a lot of hot cosplayers, and I was
Hell yeah.
hoping I could charm one of them into coming back to our rented apartment to do this and that. I am a certified virgin to the female genitalia, and I'm also 20, so I obviously don't have much time left. Is there any advice you can give me on convincing a hot girl that I'm worth having at least a one-night stand with? Is the fact that I've got a rented apartment with 2 other guys creepy? My brother and my friend are also interested in getting it on with people, and in the off chance they get lucky, that could make for an ugly scene. Would it be best if I told the guys to shoo for a bit? I myself will be cosplaying Scott Tracy from Thunderbirds, who I doubt most other Americans would be familiar with. I also have a beard which doesn't fit the character. Would I have more luck cosplaying someone more recognizable, or would the chicks dig the obscurity and creativity of my portrayal of Mr. Tracy? Thanks and best wishes. Love, Chris.
Oh, Chris.
Nathan, are you an anime convention kind of guy, or is that more of a Caldwell thing?
Caldwell probably more so. I've been getting into anime. I started getting into anime because Caldwell used to be my boss, and I wanted something to talk about with him. But I genuinely like. I mean, there's so much bad anime out there, but Caldwell luckily has like sifted through all of that for me and would just give me good recs.
Okay, great. So you guys are. I feel like between you three, you guys and Jake, you guys can figure out how to help this guy go to an anime convention, then also woo a lady, hopefully.
Now,
First of all, there's nothing sexier than putting a time limit on your virginity.
Yeah,
Right.
It's 20,
time
so
is running out.
Time is running out
I'll be
for
dead
me.
in 80 years.
At 20,
That sense
when I
of
combust if I haven't had sex.
I have a Cinderella curse on my dick.
It's turning into a
laughed at
pumpkin.
when he said his
Thunderbirds.
costume. Who is that?
Now I'm trying to. There's a new show on Netflix that is like a kind of bizarre throwback show, and I don't know if he's referencing that one or if he's referencing the classic British show. Can we like do like a quick Google maybe?
Yeah.
I think the show he's thinking about is
What was the name of the character? Search
Scott Tracy.
Scott Tracy from Thunderbirds.
Okay, so I'm going to go out.
That kind of,
yeah, it is. This
The
is
1960s.
He's talking about the show that Team America is based on. It's a show made entirely with like mannequin puppets.
Oh.
And like action figure sized like toy planes.
so it's not even an anime.
Look, this might be
No.
totally wrong what I'm about to say, so you guys can tell me, because I don't know anything about these conventions. But if it's anything like Halloween,
Yeah.
you want to have an instantly recognizable,
Yeah.
super popular costume.
Actually, what is an anime convention?
what
Is it a party?
It's like Comic-Con,
Yeah, actually-
but anime themed.
Here's the thing. I
Right?
kind of, I was, as I discussed before on the show, I lived my life with just like stuck inside a deep pillar of shame about the things that I liked and enjoyed.
So you never went to one of them.
Not until I was, a little older, not until I was like, 18, or roughly like early 20s.
And is it parties or is it walking around during the day panels?
It's a little bit of both, but like, from my understanding, it's like fuck camp for teens.
Oh.
It is like
People do
nerds.
have sex
Nerds
with
get
them.
wild at these things.
That's
Yeah.
great.
especially in Anime Boston and Otakon. Like, oh yeah, shit's popping.
Rent an
fully.
apartment with your brother and his buddy.
Yeah, step one.
So what's a good example of a good costume? Like Jake said, what's one that's instantly recognizable?
You
Keep in
know.
mind this guy has a beard.
Because you
got
don't
a
want to,
beard.
you don't want to be so popular that you're just one of the million of like Edward Elrics walking around.
Thank you. Yeah. Now, I'm trying to think of a good bearded character.
What if you
could
do
go
like the
as.
anti-joke and you go like as the Joker from Dark Knight?
Or
or
you just do like the Pikachu onesie.
That Jeff Rubin again bringing
Yeah.
it back. Who wore that to a Purim party? Actually, it's Purim time, so it's a triple callback.
ooh. I think that with the beard, you could do like kind of like a unique spin. You could do like a Batman with a beard if you wanted.
Oh.
I think you could like you got to lean into the beard a little more and either do like kind of a slightly ironic costume like that.
Well, there
or
or sorry.
did you have some good examples of anime characters with beards? There's
Well, there-
strikingly few, I think.
Yeah. Well,
Because it's a Japanese thing and they can't grow facial hair.
A little bit, maybe.
you could be, well, there are so many like angsty teen anime characters. You
Yeah.
could just be one of them, but slightly older. You just be like,
I
oh,
like that.
I'm
Shinji with a
I'm
beard.
Shinji, but grown up. Shinji's dad has a beard.
You could be Gendo Ikari from Neon Genesis Evangelion.
God,
Am I
you
still
guys
allowed
are,
on the
like,
podcast?
I feel
Who's
dirty
still
being
listening?
around this level of loser.
We're talking about we got to delve into this,
be-
man. We got to dip a toe into this loser
I-
pool.
You could be Van Hohenheim.
But clearly,
yeah.
this guy is going to be competing among a lot of virgins,
Right.
who are trying to take
this-
home a cosplay.
So do you
thing.
think that allows him? This is his best bet.
It sounds like a lot of people go there with the expectation that they're going to have sex.
I don't
a lot
think
of
it's-
people that aren't like. Well, I guess I honestly don't know, but
I think a lot of guys go with the expectation that that they're gonna expectation they're gonna have sex. I can't speak for the ladies.
True.
I feel like any time dressing up is just like terrifying because it's just inviting
Yeah.
all sorts of creepos.
right. Well, I will say also that going to Boston, going to a big city in general, is like kind of helpful for getting laid because you're going to be around a lot of new people, even if it's not at the convention. Like you should just get on those dating apps.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, that's a good. Yeah.
And like,
So pre-swiping.
yeah, and then
Take some
hey, yo.
costumed pictures for the app.
Do you think that is there a nerd specific dating app or like a
Oh, interesting.
There should be.
an otaku Tinder?
you have
Yeah.
to, right? You have to like the quiz is you can't download Tinder until you say who
Yeah.
Intaku is.
Name 3 Thunderbirds.
Do you remember old video games? I remember like playing Leisure Suit Larry when I was 9. And it was like, who won the 1971 NBA Finals? To like verify that you're 18 years old, or
wow,
own an
that's great.
encyclopedia. So it'd
or
be like
own it,
that.
yeah, one or the other.
So it'd be like that, but for an app.
I like that. Yeah, I would ask you a very specific series of questions, or just check to see if you have a Crunchyroll account. One of the two.
Crunchyroll.
I do think Nathan had the right idea, though, which is that this person should just dress up as like a badass version of a character. Like I don't know what color of beard they're working with, but
Yeah.
like if you go as like a badass Link from Legend of Zelda, that's a fun angle.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, or like
Lumberjack Link.
ooh yeah. or like even a lumberjack of anything. Like mashups are big these days.
Yeah.
Hipster, just hipster in front of any.
Yeah.
Hipster's the new sexy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hipster
man.
Zelda. Hipster Metroid.
Yeah. Or you could, you know what? Shave it down into a nice goatee. Get yourself a Tony Stark look going down.
Oh,
That's
Iron
easy.
Man.
Yeah.
Or you can just
cool Iron Man with the white T-shirt and the
with the
glowing
arc
chest
reactor.
thing.
Oh, yeah.
like not the actual Iron Man costume. Right?
Because that way you just get to wear a wife beater.
Yeah, that's so dope.
you want to be comfy is the thing. There are going to be people like in full mech suits there,
Right.
And you want to be more maneuverable. If you
feel
see someone from across the con floor,
Yeah.
you're going to want to be able to get over there.
I mean, if we're being honest, you really should just dress up as someone from League of Legends, and you'll definitely get your dick
Yeah,
kicked.
League of Legends is like a
Esports.
perfect.
I think it's really
Exactly.
important to dress up like somebody you already look like.
Yes.
Because if I went and I dressed up as like Superman or something, everyone's like, like that guy doesn't look like Superman. That's not cool.
No.
I'd have to dress up as some.
You have to-
I can't think of any
Post-crisis
superhero without-
Aquaman.
What's that?
Yeah, like Aquaman with the hook hand.
Oh, could I do that? Does
Yeah, you
Aquaman
can-
have
Oh
a lot
yeah,
off?
you for sure have the Aquaman look going.
All right, see, so that's what you'd have to do. You got to like embrace somebody who you look like already, because
Yeah.
that's what gets people excited.
Is there like a cosplay app where you can take a picture of your face and it matches you with fictional characters?
It's a really
No,
fun idea.
yeah.
for an app.
Let's delete that. Let's just roll that back. And
Yeah.
off
Sorry,
air.
that's ours. That and Nerd Date.
Is there
Tinder.
a-
Can I?
Wow, that's a good idea.
Can I want to, if I can offer just like a kernel of like real advice amidst this, which is that I think that
I was
know,
offering real advice this entire time. But go ahead.
I do think that like you've got your intentions are noble, and I know that you're
It
worried.
sounds like the beginning of a video game.
yeah,
Your intentions are
good
pure.
sir.
You are now equipped with pure intentions.
But I do think like just there are a ton of people here and they're like-minded. So like I don't think you need to go in like fully with the expectation of like getting laid. Just like
Don't be yourself.
be disingenuous. But no, just
Be
like
somebody else.
take it easy, like have fun, meet people, and like if it happens naturally, do it. But like kind of see if you can string something out, like along, like just get something started. Like
Yeah.
you've got 3 days, but like don't let that be your time limit. Like
That's one of the overarching themes of Lonely and Horny, the new web series as well. So hopefully he'll watch this entire thing and learn
Yeah.
a lesson.
The more you want
desperation- Yeah.
now, Lonely and Horny
you
is
can-
an anime, right?
Yeah, it sure is.
You should dress up as Ruby.
Lonely X horny.
Is that an anime joke? I don't.
Yeah, it fucking is.
It was perfect. Drop
It
the mic,
killed.
Nathan.
It's
There's an
still
audience full of
attached.
Caldwells, and they're just losing their shit over that one.
11 nerds across the country.
But yeah, as someone who was probably either 20 or close to 20,
Uh-huh.
when,
20 and horny.
when I lost my virginity, it's like there are people who are able to like go into a situation like I'm going to get laid and
Yeah.
are successful. It doesn't sound like you're that guy. So
Already
maybe-
overthinking it.
Yeah, like the best luck I ever had is when I'm not looking for it. I'm just like there. Like you're there at the convention because you like anime, and you should just be like, people like it when it seems like you're enjoying yourself and having fun and are happy with yourself,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
people can sense the nervous like wanting energy. That
And those girls in those cosplay outfits are very, very used to like just nerdy
Hey.
guys hitting on them relentlessly.
Just real quick.
So if you can do something that's not that, if you do the opposite of that, which is leave them alone and be cool with yourself,
It's
Yeah.
well, I would say girls not even in costumes. Girls everywhere in the world are used to nerdy guys hitting on them.
for sure.
So the
just
coolest
all-
thing you could do
just
is
all guys, all just the male gaze.
Yeah.
Cosplay is not consent.
Cosplay is not consent.
That is just like an actual. That's some just real life advice right there. Cosplay is not consent.
And then real quick, I wanted to talk about the whole like when you're going out to a new city, like
Yeah.
staying with friends or getting your own room in hopes. That's sort of a conversation to have.
Oh yeah, it's really going to be rare that all three of you guys are going to have sex.
I don't know.
So the move is just everybody. First of all, save the money, get the shared place.
Yeah.
and then if something dope is about to happen, just know that you would vacate the apartment for your brother or his buddy, and that they should do the same thing for
Hey,
you.
guys,
Yeah.
just-
you have a little check in with
Yeah,
everybody.
just
for that.
have a group text, and have a shorthand for like I need the apartment.
Right. And if like if everything goes amazing and you all like need this apartment, then you just like figure something out.
Yeah.
Like,
Can't you just go to a hotel?
Yeah.
You get you get another
when you're
room.
20, it's not
Splurge
you don't
it.
necessarily. You can't just like check into a hotel last minute. That's kind of expensive.
But if
Yeah.
you're a 20-year-old virgin and this is your one opportunity, that's when you go for broke.
That's when you cash in the bar mitzvah money, baby.
I think that you just tell your bros, like, I'm going to need the air mattress tonight. You guys just
Put it in the street. I
Yeah.
don't care.
I got a girl dressed as Sakura coming up here in 20. I need you guys to vacate.
I'm 20 years old, for Christ's sakes. I'm gonna die alone.
Yeah, I don't know what, like, I don't imagine this is like a 3-door like apartment situation. I'm picturing a singular air mattress that they're all sharing.
Yeah.
But it's probably not a studio.
A share mattress.
Whoever's having sex gets the most private room. That's
the rule.
that's the rule.
All right. Good luck. What do we call them?
Crazy.
Oh, yeah. Good
Chris.
luck, Craig.
Hey, Chris, just chill.
Yeah, keep it cool. Chris.
Keep it cash. Thanks to you guys for coming on the show.
Oh, thanks so
you
much
for
for
having
having
us.
us.
How'd it feel?
Felt great. It felt like nice to not.
It flies by, right? That
Truly.
was 7 hours.
Wow.
Well, the break was 6 of it, but still. We watched 6 basketball games during the break. If you have your own questions or theme songs, not YouTube, but anybody listening at home, the
YouTube
email
if you
address.
want.
Yeah, the email address is if I were you show.
If I were you, if I were you,
That's
Jake
perfect.
and Amir,
Oh, God.
they'll help you too.
Well, record it and send it later. But the email address for all that stuff is if I were you show at gmail.com. Jake and I, once again, are going to Brooklyn, Boston, New York, Brooklyn, Boston, New Haven, and D.C.
Yeah,
in
just
April.
a wave in 203, baby.
And our new web series, Lonely and Horny, still available. Thanks to everybody who's pre-ordered it so far. We're overwhelmed with all the tweets and Snapchats of screen caps of people who got it. And we're trying to do our best to thank them all individually. But consider this an overarching thank you in case we don't get to you specifically. Nathan Caldwell, one last time, name of your podcast.
What should we draw?
Whoa, they just kissed. The
How do you end your podcast?
We usually high five or French.
Okay.
Mostly French.
It's like a quick peck.
Opening theme song, once again, was written by Ryan Smith. And this last one was written by Ian Taylor. Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, Ian. Thanks to you guys for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
And thanks to everybody at home for listening. We'll be back, I think, on Monday, but maybe on Thursday. Who
Later.
knows anymore? Bye-bye.
If I were you, by Jake and Amir, they may tell you you're not worth it, or maybe even a queer, but they're doing their best, 'cause when they're on their quest to give advice on a podcast, maybe even try and make you laugh. Don't Starbucks suicide 'cause of this house. I guess this is pretty hashtag dope. What's this? It's hashtag no. You do you and I do me. Why can't we just seize the cheese? Seize the cheese.
Oh, hello.
Oh, you're still here.
This is sort of like a hidden track.
Oh, should I put it after like 2 seconds of silence or
Yeah.
like maybe 45 minutes of silence?
Well, then people will really never, ever listen to it.
Or they'll be like confused, like, oh, I downloaded this episode and now why is it an hour and a half long?
Yeah.
It seems like they're wrapping up at minute 42.
I wonder how many people will listen to this.
Yeah, in relation to how many people start it.
Right.
I would bet it's roughly 50%.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Cool. Well, that's pretty great.
Well, if you're still here, it means, let's say you're driving and you felt bad, like changing the track mid drive, which is nice. That's
possible.
good for you.
You're a responsible driver.
You're safe.
That being said, go to lonelyandhorny.com on your phone. But it also could mean that they're a big fan.
Oh, and they were just going to listen to it through.
Yeah. And if that's the case, if you consider yourself a big fan and you haven't pre-ordered Lonely and Horny, then
Kill
I
yourself.
consider you a foe,
What?
a frenemy of mine.
Oh, I thought you meant a Vietnamese noodle soup.
Oh, I consider you a foe.
Yeah, a bowl of
You're
pork
a
broth.
bowl man or woman.
Another way people are still listening is if they're washing something and their hands are wet.
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah, and if your hands are wet and you want to dry them up and pre-order our new web series, Lonely and Horny.
Yeah, that's good. Go to Vimeo.com. Oh, no, you can go to lonelyandhorny.com.
Yeah.
So just if you're not afraid to type into your browser lonelyandhorny.com,
Yeah.
you get 15% off with the coupon code HORNY. And you can start watching these episodes beginning, is it next week? The week after?
Yeah, April 8th, a week from Friday.
It's coming out. It's happening very soon, folks.
So you can pre-order it now, and that coupon code will disappear on April 8th. So if you've been delaying, don't delay. Just get her done today. And we cannot thank the people that have pre-ordered enough.
Yeah, for real. We really appreciate it.
And we're getting such positive feedback in the Twitter sphere and Facebooker sphere and Snapchat, and we just keep getting emails about people supporting Lonely and Horny, and it warms our heart. We can't wait for you guys to see it. So Toda, thank you. Namaste.
Bye-bye.
And why don't we let's actually, this is the actual end of the episode.
That was a HeadGum podcast.
All right, now 3 minutes of silence, and we're back. Hey, so now the real man, we got to keep going until only 4 people are listening.
But they're all Venmoing us $1,000.
No. All right, we'll be back next week. Thanks, guys. Bye.
That was a HeadGum podcast.